Happy Halloween, everyone. Today's Pick a Card Tarot reading is taking advantage of the thin veil between our worlds and others. And we are doing a message from your ancestors to celebrate this blessed Samhain. In front of you are 3 separate piles. I will be using all of the Tarot and Oracle decks that I unboxed this month. So that includes the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot cards, the Halloween tarot, the Witch's Wisdom Oracle cards, as well as the Halloween Oracle. This is pile 1, this is pile 2, this is pile 3. Again, today's Pick a Card Tarot and Oracle reading is all about messages from your ancestors. Please take a moment to connect with your intuition, calm the mind, and select your pile. When you're ready, the timestamps will be listed both in the description box and the top pinned comment. Please hit that subscribe button while you go find your timestamp, and let's get started. Hello to all of you who picked pile number 1. Okay, we got a lot of cards that we got to get out here today. So let's start with your tarot cards. We have the 6 of Needles, the Knight of Candles, the 4 of Presents, the Queen of Candles, the Tower, and the Lovers. Okay. And then from the other deck, we have the 2 of Ghosts, the 2 of Bats, the Emperor, and the 6 of Ghosts. Okay. Interesting balance here with the Tower, the Lovers, and the 6 of Ghosts. It's almost like, so the Lovers card, yes, could mean relationship. It can also mean contracts, agreements, partnerships. And so it's almost like there's some kind of memory, some kind of history that is preventing you from moving forward, or it's almost like you're seeing this memory in a tower moment, like a negative light, which is preventing you from moving forward. And your ancestors want you to know that you can trust yourself to make the decision. We got 2 2s here, so lots of decision making. They want you to know that you can trust yourself to make this decision. You can trust yourself to be analytical and move forward. We don't need to make decisions based on what has happened in the past. If we constantly live in the past and do not allow ourselves to forgive for what has happened in the past, then that will always dictate our future. Okay? With the 6 of Needles here, this is healing from past trauma, from something that has happened. Again, I feel like this 6 of Needles is going to be some healing that you're going to be able to do in order to move forward on this situation, on this path, on this journey that you want to go down. Whether this is a relationship with someone else, I'm not quite sure. This could be a relationship with yourself as well. But again, your ancestors want you to know that you are capable of healing from this past memory to be able to move forward. Okay? Again, we have the 2 of Ghosts and the 2 of Bats. So this is an interesting, it's an interesting combination because we have the 2 of Ghosts, but we also have the Lovers, which again, it's a very love and relationship kind of card. But with the 2 of Bats, it's, you're blind to the options in front of you. You can't see what lies ahead. And I feel like it's, again, because you're always looking back. So whether this is a past relationship that you need to let go of, this could also be ancestral trauma that you need to let go of. This could be your ancestors saying, like, this is not your burden to carry. Yes, it is all well and good and beneficial for our societies to work through the hurt and the trauma of the past, but it should not be down to an individual to carry that burden, okay? With the Four of Presents here and the Queen of Candles here, I feel like this is some very positive energy coming your way. And there's a little bug there. I feel like this is very positive energy coming your way, but it is almost with the Queen of Candles there. It's almost like, what is the word I'm even looking for? It's so cats are very curious creatures, right? And I feel like in order for you to reach this Four of Presents, this happiness, this contentment, this joy, whether this is in a relationship with someone else, this could be the relationship to yourself, I feel like you need to embrace that curiosity. Explore who you are, explore the world around you, explore relationships even. Your ancestors want you to know that it is okay to follow these paths, these little signs that are leading you somewhere. It's okay to explore that. You don't need to always be thinking critically and in the negative. Like, I feel like this kind of energy is a lot of like what ifs. Like, what if I go down this path? What if I get in a relationship with this person? What if, right? But it's this interesting dynamic here, this what if. What if in a very negative sense, or what if in a very positive sense? Which is the one that you are going to choose to do? Your ancestors want you to know that the mindset that you have going forward is going to be very important for you, okay? Okay. The Apple, risk and reward. It is okay to be very critical and analytical of situations, but you can't let your fear of the risk stop you from reaching for the reward, especially if that's something that you really want. The Skull of Light, illumination, and dawn, the light after the darkness. Your ancestors want you to know that it is time to heal. It is time to heal from what is hurting you, from what has caused you confusion and trauma in the past. They want you to know that it's time to heal. Okay? There is light after this darkness. Even if the tower falls down, we can rebuild. And you can rebuild a stronger and more stable foundation from the ruins. If we keep trying to prop up the tower when we know it's crumbling, it's just going to be an even bigger mess to clean up. And your ancestors are going to light the way for you. So watch out for signs and synchronicities. They are telling you when you are on the right path, but you need to be able to hear them. Okay? We have the card of masculine, which is interesting. So we have masculine, the Lord or God. We have the Knight of Candles, and we have the Emperor. So this could be your ancestors telling you that it is time to embrace masculine energy, which is very intellectual energy. It's also very self-confident kind of energy. Like, it's not receptive. It is, you are going to take the steps and go for it. You're not waiting for someone else to bring it to you. You are taking action. Okay. But this could also be between the masculine, the Emperor, the Knight of Candles. This could also be that the ancestor that is wanting to speak with you today is masculine. This could be a man, or this could be a woman with very strong masculine energy. This could also be someone who has paved the way, whether this is for your family, or on a bigger scale, like maybe this is someone who has taken the decision to move you, not you necessarily move your family for better opportunities, or someone who was the first to do something within your family. Like maybe they were the first to go to college or the first to, I don't know. But just, very powerful, confident, strong energy is what I'm sensing, which makes sense as to why they really want you to heal and get over what is preventing you from going after your dreams, okay? We have the card of Staff, which is stability, Watchtower of the South, which is summer, and Witch's Hat, which is power. So again, I think the ultimate message kind of is summed up right here in this Witch's Hat in the middle. Your ancestors want you to embrace your power as an individual, your power as a human, your power within your community, within your country, within, however you choose to identify in whatever situations you choose to put yourself in. Own your power within those situations. It is not time for you to fade into the background and hide away. I'm not saying you need to be extroverted if you're an introvert, but it's just everyone has their own unique power, whether it is within themselves, their self-confidence, their self-esteem, or whether it is something external. Maybe you are a powerful speaker, a powerful mediator, perhaps you're even just physically powerful. Maybe you are a very strong individual physically, okay? And that also goes along here with the Staff, with the stability card. It's almost like you can't look for stability outside of yourself. Again, we were talking about that tower crumbling down. That power, that stability needs to come from within you. This could be, again, embracing your masculine side, or it's just this masculine ancestor telling you that you can do it. You have this power, and they're kind of being a cheerleader for you. Like they're wanting to encourage you to go forward. Okay. I love the imagery here of the sunflower, because sunflowers will literally follow the sun. Like, so if they're facing the east in the morning, then they'll switch to face the west by the afternoon. Like they'll move. And it's like, they have that capability to follow the sun, follow what they need. And so your ancestors are really telling you to take it upon yourself to get what you need. Okay? So that is your message if you picked pile number 1 in this Messages from Your Ancestors reading for this wonderful day of Samhain. I hope you have a blessed day, and let me know whether you are dressing up, going trick-or-treating. How are you celebrating today? Love, light, and happiness to all of you. Have a fantastic day. Bye. Hello to all of you who picked pile number 2. You wonderful humans had so many cards just wanting to jump out. Every time I shuffled cards for this pile, they were just jumping like crazy. So let's see what your messages are. Okay. So we have the 4 of Candles, the Queen of Potions, 2 of Presents, the Wheel of Fortune, the 9 of Candles, and the Knight of Needles. Okay. And then the other deck, we have the 10 of Imps, the 8 of Pumpkins, and the 6 of Imps. I love this little 8 of Pumpkins here. This is about building your skill and trusting yourself to be able to create the future that you desire. And your ancestors want you to keep going down that path. Keep going down the journey that is bringing you such pleasure. I mean, like, look at his happy little face. He is not burdened by carving jack-o'-lantern after jack-o'-lantern after jack-o'-lantern. He is having an amazing time. But then we have right beside him, we have the 10 of Imps here. And this is about feeling burdened and overwhelmed. And it's almost like you had this intricate balance between when you feel like this is perfect, things are going well, and then all of a sudden you're burnt out, overwhelmed, and you're dropping things, and it's like you can't do it anymore, right? So how can we stay in this energy? How can we listen to ourselves? How can we trust ourselves to stop when we need to? How can we push forward when we are feeling maybe like we are overwhelmed? And I mean, push forward doesn't mean continuing to do what's burning you out. It could be, what's the next step? Is it taking a break? Is it like working on self-love, self-care, healing, just, taking a nap even? We have the Knight of Needles here, and he's got this very, interesting attitude. Like, look at him, he looks so smug, and he's just like, he's up to something, and you don't really know, what it is, but he's having a fun time, and he's having, I don't know, just that look on his face. It's mischievous, and yet he knows exactly what he needs to do to go with his plan, right? And then over on this side here, we have the Queen of Potions. Again, I love this woman. I love the mer woman, the mermaid, I guess, is what she is. I don't know what she is. But she's got this very kind of contrary energy to this guy. This guy's kind of mischievous. She's just cool. She's calm. She's got it all together. She doesn't even have to work hard. It's almost like she just knows what she wants, right? So we've got this kind of contrasting energy of, kind of being in this balanced energy versus kind of feeling unbalanced. I mean, he knows what he wants, but he also kind of looks a little unbalanced, especially mentally, perhaps. We have the Two of Presents in the middle here. And this card is about making decisions and prioritizing your time, okay? And with the Wheel of Fortune next to it, it's almost like when you need to stop, but sometimes you want to spin that wheel and go a little further, push a little harder. So again, it's this balance between, I'm actually going to move these two cards, okay, just so that it's more balanced. We have the decision-making process and kind of the cool, calm, and collected who would know when to stop, versus this guy who's like, I'm going to take a little bit of a risk and I'm going to spin the wheel. And I'm going to sense that when you spin the wheel, quite often is when you get to this stage, right? And then, so the last two cards that we have on either side of this here, we have the Four of Candles and the Nine of Candles. So the Four of Candles is actually a celebration here, okay? This is, you know, you're very proud of yourself. You're ready to, you know, celebrate your achievements, celebrate what you have done. But then on the far side, we have the Nine of Candles. And this is, this card speaks of a need to talk it through, a need to release what isn't really serving you anymore. It's feeling burdened. And so it's, again, let's move these cards again, because I feel like this is, that's how we need to lay them out. Okay. So you have this dynamic of energy, right? The very productive, comfortable within yourself, confident within your decision making. And then we'll just call this side a bit more reckless energy, okay? And with the Six of Imps here in the middle, this is a card of celebration, a card of victory. And your ancestors want you to know that you don't have to give up either of these sides. I know this is a really long-winded way to get to this, but, you know, sometimes you got to work through the messages and let them come through. But you need to, if these are both sides of yourself, and they're both sides of many of us, it's not like you need to focus just here. And it's not like you need to focus just here. It's how you can balance these. You can even look at these as more of a gambling side versus more of a conservative side. And it's so how can you balance those to reach your dreams, okay? And your ancestors want you to know that you have the capability to balance this and go after what it is that you want, okay? So then we have the card of the Witch, the earthly weaver of the worlds. Card of the Spider, community and web weaving. And then we have the card of Lady de los Muertos, acceptance and equality. I'm going to put this right in the middle because I feel like that really goes with this. And it's accepting where you are. And it's accepting where you want to go and how you're going to get there. Okay? And then I feel like the Witch is a little more mischievous, and she's going to go over here. And then we're going to put the Spider here. Very, very calculated in its movement. It knows exactly what it needs to do. And it is going to, you know, keep working. Keep working for itself. Keep working for its community. Keep working in general. Okay, so again, playful side, a little more work focused. And how do you balance this energy? Okay, and then we have the Lady or the Goddess, which is feminine energy. We have the Broomstick, which is clearance. And we have the Watchtower of the West, which is autumn. I am going to pull you one more card because I feel like we are a little imbalanced here. We need one more, please. With the feminine card over here, and then lots of feminine energy here with the Lady and the Witch, I feel like this is about embracing your creativity. This could also be that the ancestor that is wanting to speak to you is more of a feminine entity, whether this is a woman or a man with feminine energy. I'm almost leaning towards it more being a woman, like a grandmother even, a great-grandmother perhaps. And it's that very nurturing kind of energy. You know, it's the energy of it doesn't matter what you do as long as you're safe and you come back home. This woman would have loved you no matter what you did. You know, if you come home drunk at 2 a.m., it's okay. Oh, that's interesting. There's the balance, the spring and the autumn. Yeah, so just very loving, caring, nurturing energy. Not enemy, energy. So if you were to come home, you know, with an injury, she would care for your injury. If you were to come home in trouble, she would still love you and stand by you and help you at every moment. And so it's like she sees both of your sides, but she still sees you for who you are. She still sees you for the success, the loving, the caring person that you are. And then it's interesting, as I shuffled and got a new card, so we have the Watchtower of the East, which is spring, and the Watchtower of the West, which is autumn. So again, it's this balance. But it's interesting because we have autumn over here on what I was sensing to be a very creative side. And we have the spring over here, which is kind of, no, okay, you know what? I was going to say the spring should be over here because this seemed like it was a lot more creative energy. And in the spring, I always think of creation, you know, starting fresh, things coming to life. But this is appropriate to be over here because this is youthful energy. And that's what this is too. This is very youthful energy. So again, it's just your ancestors want you to balance out this energy and really listen to yourself as you're going about your day, going about your journey, and picking what energy you feel like you need to be embodying for that kind of endeavor. You know, like if you're at work or school, this may be the energy that you need to focus on. But when it's time to play, it is okay to be here. It is okay to be here and to let your guard down, to let your hair down, to, you know, experience the thrills of life. It's not always about working, but it's also not about playing the whole time. It's not about being reckless with the situation. Sometimes you do have to find this balance. Sometimes you have to know when the moment is right to be here or the moment is right to be here. So your ancestors really want you to know that you are on the path to success as long as you can make time for both aspects of yourself. Okay? That is your reading for today. I feel like I really went off on some tangents, but I hope it made sense for you. Let me know what energy you're feeling in right now. Are you feeling more like you are this 8 of Pumpkins right now, just feeling very productive, very much in control of things? Or are you feeling very overwhelmed in this season of your life? Let me know down in the comments below. But anyways, that is your reading. If you enjoyed it, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Love, light, and happiness to all of you. Have a blessed Samhain. Bye. Hello to all of you who picked pile number 3. Wow, we got a lot of tarot cards. They were just jumping for so many groups. So we have the 10 of Candles, the 3 of Needles, the Fool, the 5 of Presents, and the Devil. Oh man, heavy energy to those of you who picked pile number 3. The first message that just came through is do not define yourself by someone else's perception of your worth. Okay? I feel like you guys have the capability of beating yourself down because of what someone else has said about you or to you, even if you know it's not true. You're like, that's not who I am. That's not what I'm like. That doesn't define me. And yet you really let it get to you. You hold this burden of someone else's pain. And your ancestors want you to know that it is not yours to carry. Okay? We have the King of Bats, the Magician, the World, the King of Pumpkins, and the Six of Pumpkins. Okay. Remember who you are. Okay? This is interesting because this is such different energy between the two different tarot decks. Again, we have very much a burden. And it's interesting with this from The Nightmare Before Christmas, because Jack starts out on his journey because he feels like he doesn't know who he is, and he feels like he is lost, and who is the Pumpkin King, right? And he goes off, and that is how his journey starts. Some other decks will show a representation of the Fool being someone innocent and young and carefree, but Jack's journey starts more because he's feeling a burden of something. And that's kind of the energy of these top cards. But then we come down here. We have the Magician, the World, the Two Kings, the Six of Pumpkins. This is reminding you to remember who you are. Again, who is Jack? He went on the whole journey of the movie to figure out who he was, and it was who he was all along, right? He started out as the Pumpkin King, went on this journey to figure out who he was, and ultimately came back to be the Pumpkin King, right? And it's like, you knew all along who you were. You just have to take back your power, and your ancestors want you to take back your power. Let's get some other cards out. We have Candles, Magic. We have Prosperity. We have Ancestors, Remembrance. And we have Imbolc, Awakening. The Ancestors card and the Six of Pumpkins, again, it's this memory of who you are. And this could be not just who you are in this life, but it could be who you are in terms of your family, who you are in terms of your culture, in terms of your, even on a more spiritual level, especially since we have this Awakening card, like, who are you on a grander scheme of things, right? We are all just living a temporary human experience, and I feel like your experience is really trying at times, very emotionally trying, and part of living this human experience is to experience emotions, is to process and work through those emotions to level up on the other side. But it doesn't mean that you can't sorry, my battery died. As I was saying, this doesn't mean that you can't level up now. And your ancestors are wanting you to reclaim your power, take back your power. You have the ability to be strong and prosperous and successful in this life. I mean, we've got the Two Kings, we've got the World, we've got the Magician, we've got the Prosperity card. Like, you can take control. We've even got the Magic card. And with the Magic and the Magician card, this is taking back your power. It's about knowing who you are on whatever level that might be, whatever resonates with you. We have the Owl, Wise Seeing, Wise Action. I feel like your ancestors want you to know that you are the owl. You have the knowledge within you to go over. We have Scrying, which is intuition. And we have Underworld. We're all ooh, that makes sense. Sorry, I'll go back to this card in a minute. The Intuition card with the top row here. You guys may be very strong empaths, and this might even be kind of a characteristic of your family. You might have very caring, strong, emotionally strong individuals. You might also have a family with psychic abilities, like going way back in your lineage. Whether this is you have other people who work with divination, or scrying, or who can talk to ancestors, or whatever it is, I feel like you may not understand your abilities, and that's why this first level is really difficult for you, because you don't know how to block this unwanted energy. So it's almost like you need to protect yourself against that energy when you don't want it. So when when you want to communicate with your ancestors, when you want to communicate with those around you, or kind of get downloads from the universe, it's like you need to be able to turn it on and off so that you're not getting overwhelmed with it. Okay? And then we have the card of the underworld, where all things pause and begin again. Pause and begin again. I want to know, if you picked this pile, do you consider yourself psychic or empathic, or do you feel like you have like kind of extrasensory abilities that you might not be able to really explain? Do you feel like you can sense other people's emotions, like you know what someone's going to say or what they're feeling before they even tell you? Are you the type of friend that you pick up the phone and call someone because you know they need to hear you or hear from you, and then that is usually the case? Let me know. I do feel like that kind of vibe from these people, or from those people who picked this pile, I should say. And again, your ancestors want you to know that this is a gift, but you have to be able to harness it, okay? And I'm confused by this now, with the memory. It could be that this is something that, maybe this is something that has happened and it is still lingering, and so you don't even want to tap into this ability because of this. This might not even be an ability that you are connected with anymore. You might feel like you have, you remember maybe vivid dreams, or you remember, getting kind of downloads of information, but you don't get it anymore. And it could be because you shut it off. And your ancestors want you to connect with them. They're like, you don't need this other lady being me, communicating for us, because you can do it yourself. This owl is really speaking to me too. Those eyes just piercing. How many of you have been told that you are old souls, I wonder? But anyways, I think those are all the messages I have for you. Your ancestors just really want you to be confident and strong in who you are, and know that you are going down the right path for you. Take time to calm the mind so that you can listen to more than just this chatter of the top. We don't need to listen to this negative. You are worth so much more than that, and you know that that negative does not define you, okay? So that is your message if you picked pile number 3 in this Halloween pick a card. I hope you have a blessed Samhain, and let me know what you were doing to celebrate. Love, light, and happiness to all of you. Have a fantastic day. Bye.